Hey, we have a lot of snow, let's build some jumps and ride them. Hi, I'm Chris from the Northern Bike Channel. We'll be looking at the jump line that I've built and ride it also. The idea of building these jumps out of snow came to me as I was plowing our yard of the immense amount of snow that we got here in the past few days or 2 weeks, combined with the latest video that I made of me plowing through the powder snow. I thought that this would be an ideal situation to start practicing on my jumping skills. If you haven't seen me plowing through the powder snow, I'll put a link here to the video. I'll also remind you in the end of this video, so you don't need to go anywhere. I actually made a New Year's resolution that I would be more comfortable with gap jumps and to be able to start whipping my bike in the air and possibly even doing some tabletops. So in the soft snow, that's a perfect way to start jumping, in my opinion. But before we get ahead of things, let's build the jumps first. I waited for the temperature to drop to close to 0 degrees Celsius, and that's when I started building these jumps. I don't think I have footage of all of the building phases, but here's a time lapse of me building the third one of the jump line. I built 3 jumps. The first one starts from the border of our yard, second one is pretty much in the middle, and the last one is closing in on one of the borders again on our front yard. The last one is maybe the prettiest and most defined jump of them all. I wanted to make one which was a clear tabletop, where it would be easy to throw the bike around at least a little bit. The jump is quite small, so that I would be able to practice my whips and some other tricks maybe. Now it might be a bit hard to see on camera or even live where all the edges of the jump go, so spraying it with a fluorescent spray would be the best thing you could do, like they usually do on ski resorts. I did a few test runs and practiced my jumping skills. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up now. The second jump is a small hip, so that you are not jumping in a straight line, you have to hop to the right. Then I built a steeper jump next to the second jump, so a more difficult jump. The steeper jump I made actually when we had approximately minus 10 degrees Celsius outside temperature. That meant that the packing was very difficult and I had to spray some water on it to make it stick and to freeze up. But now I'm really pleased with it. It's in good shape. It's hard, it's easy rideable. The only problem is the speed. I started pedaling a lot and gained just enough speed to be able to clear the 3 jumps. But the steepest one I yet haven't cleared. Okay, look, now I can clear the jump line. I can go through all of the 3 jumps in one go, but there's still one problem arising. I don't like the way I have to brake almost immediately when I land the final jump. I was a bit skeptical when I started digging and building the jumps, so I didn't want to plan too much ahead. So now, when I land the jump correctly, I need to start braking immediately, and then I'm in deep snow and I fear of going through our fence into the neighbor's yard. So my idea was to try to build a berm next. And again, I was a bit skeptical, so basically I just through a pile that looked like a berm and let it set and put a little water on it. Then it was time to try it out. Turns out, like usually, if you don't have a lot of experience building trails, you usually start building too small, and that was the case here again. The radius of the berm was way too tight. I would need a dirt jump bike or a BMX to be able to ride it smoothly. So I decided to take it down. But hey, it's just snow, it's easy. This time I made a nicer approach. I took a line and extended the radius that I wanted to build and then marked out a center spot, and from there I could draw the 90-degree berm line with a constant radius. Now it's even colder. It's minus 15 degrees Celsius. So I needed to use some water again. And what do you know? The size of the berm, it's growing. I need a lot of water. Now, I was a bit too eager to test out the new bigger berm. Turns out it wasn't hard enough, so I basically destroyed a bit of it. But again, it's snow, so it's easy to repair. I just needed to add some water and more snow. Shaping it is quite easy. I decided to try out the jumps with Maria's Trek, which is obviously a smaller frame size. After having practicing the whips with the Pole, the smaller Trek with the smaller wheel size was a lot easier to maneuver in the air. In fact, so much that it caught me off guard. I hope to get my buddy out here on our yard to test the jumps out. I know he is a better jumper than me, and probably will get some better footage of those jumps as well. Okay, so the new berm is working pretty well, but now we have a new problem. Where should I go next? Should I continue the berm even further to make a 180, or make a jump in between, a few rollers? I don't know. If you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing so you will be notified of more videos from us. Oh yeah, hey, and here's the powder snow video.